today's lesson, it's got two learning outcomes. One of them is maths, so we're looking at some factor trees and we're looking at multiplication. But the second one is we're going to use the maths to help us with BLP, and the BLP muscle that we're looking at today is making links. Okay. What we're doing is we're thinking about how we learn. Today we're using the making links muscle. So by the end of today's lesson, you'll know a lot more about making links. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give you this little cartoon, and I've got the cartoon up on the board. And it's two people having a conversation and making a link. And what I want you to do is think of something mathematical. I don't mind what it is, anything mathematical. And this person is saying something, and this person is saying something, and it needs to link. They're making a connection about that mathematical idea. It can be any idea in maths, but I want two ideas that link together, that make a link, okay? But how could I link something to do with a square and something to do with multiplication? How could I link those two together? Reese, how could I link them together?
Find the area.
Good idea. So I could say a square that has a side of 4 meters, and then the other person could say 4 times 4 is 16, which gives me the area of the square. Can you see how I've now linked those two ideas? You can pick any maths idea, two maths idea, and they need to link together in the cartoon, okay?
6 times 6 equals 36.
Yes?
36 divided by 6 equals 6.
Spot on. So multiplication and division, there's a link there, isn't there? There's a connection. Yep.
A rectangle that has 4 meters for the big side.
Yeah.
And 1 meter for the small.
Yes.
4 times 2 equals 8.
Excellent. So we're linking the
1
area.
times 2 equals 2. So I have an area of 10 meters squared.
Excellent. So you're linking the area to the rectangle, aren't you? Excellent. Can you see that link, William? There's a connection there, isn't there? A mathematical connection.
It's an addition one.
Okay.
7 plus 36 equals, and then the other one is 16.
Now how could we have extended Christopher's even further? So what did you have? 27. 27 plus 36. I'm going to put that all on this side as 63. What would be the linking idea that I could put on the other side that's not using addition? What could you do?
63 minus 76 equals 27.
Can you see how those two ideas are linking? Excellent, there's a connection between them. We're going to make a link using multiplication and factor trees. So we're going to do one together, and then we're going to do a few individually, and we're going to make a show me to explain it. Okay, so here is my multiplication square, and we're going to multiply across. Kim, can you do the first one for me? 4 times 6, if we have time, Jack, we'll definitely do our maths investigation. 4 times 6 is 24. Excellent. Joe, 3 times 5. Excellent. And then I want to multiply down 24 times 15. Now you might need to do an algorithm for that. Who would like to help me with the algorithm for that? Off you go, Hamish. 5 times 4. Excellent.
And then 2 times 5 is 10.
Plus 2. Excellent. We need to put down a 0 because we're multiplying by tens now. I've dealt with this too. 1 times 4. 1 times 2. Excellent. And I'm going to add those up. Do you want to do it for me, Damon? Okay, so my total is 360. Now what I'm going to do is make a factor tree for 360. Have you seen a factor tree before? No. Okay, this is a new skill that we're learning, and we're going to make a link. Okay, 360. What are two numbers that multiply to give me 360? What are two numbers, Kim?
24 and 15.
24 and 15. How did you work that out, Kim?
Because 24 times 15 is 360.
Okay, so you used this to help you out, didn't you? I love how he made that connection. Did you see that? He didn't make it hard for himself. He made a link, didn't he? And we're doing the factors. Now, who can give me two factors of 15?
15 and 1.
Oh, I could, but let's use some different factors. I could do
5 and 3.
excellent. 3 and 5. And what are two factors of 24? Two factors of 24? 4 and 4 and how many 4s? Excellent. 4 and 6. Now what do you notice? What is the connection, Reese? I think you spotted it before we even started. What's the connection between the factors? The factors of 360 are in my multiplication square. So we have a link between multiples and factors. This is the type of questions we're asking. William, are you looking? What is the pattern? Can you see that there's a connection, a pattern? What is the connection? Can you see the connection between the factors down here and our multiplication square up here? And is there a link? Is there a link between here and here? Can you see the link? So there's a connection, isn't there? Now that is using the BLP muscle making links, and that's part of being resourceful. Who can explain, if I'm being resourceful, what am I doing? If I was living out in the bush and I had no water, no food, no tent, how would I be resourceful? What could I do in the bush? Okay, so I might find a pond that might have some water in it. What else could I do? Now, how would you know that it would be a good idea to boil the water to keep it nice and clean? Yes, but how would you have had that knowledge? You would have got that knowledge already before, wouldn't you?
From a book.
You might have got it from a book, you might have read about it, you might have seen it from a PV program. So you would make a link, wouldn't you? You'd make a link from what you already knew to what you were experiencing. Here, we're making a link. We're making a link to what we know. We know about multiplying numbers, to factor trees. Can you see how we're making a link between multiplying and our factors? There's a link, there's a connection. Okay, so I want to see the square. What were your numbers that you were multiplying? So you showed me the factor tree, didn't you? So that's 2 and 4. That goes down to 2 and 2. That goes down to, what are two numbers that multiply into 38? Good. Now let's go the other way. Yeah, we're going to actually make even more of a link. We're going to go backwards. 76 and 32 are going to be here because we know that they multiply to being 370. Do you want to take this one? You can see that they multiply to give me 370. So what are going to be our two numbers here? And you can use these factors that are here.
Maybe
4 and 19 for which one? For the top one. Good boy. I see how we've made a link from here, and then all two numbers that we can use to multiply. Excellent. So you can tell me even more. I want you to reflect. What is the link? I want you to write a reflection for me.
Well, 8 times 7 is 56, and 4 times 5 is 20, and 56 times 20, you can't figure that out in your brain, so 56 times 20, 0 times 6 is 0, and 0 times 5 is 0, and then 2 times 6 is 12, come up here, and 5 times 2 is 10, and then plus the 1 makes 11, and then we cross that out, then it's a plus, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 2 is 2, 0 plus 11 is 11, and 0 plus 11 is 11. Now we have to do the factor tree. 1 times 11 is 1,120. 56 and 20. And the factors of 56 and 20. The factors of 56 and 20 are 8 and 7. The factors of 20 are 4 and 5. What is the link? The link is that 8, 7, 4 and 5 are also in the square up here.